Meet defensive tackle, walk-on freshman, Amir Broussard. He's earned every single second of playing time so far this year. Growing up in a single-parent household, 5 siblings, he was the man of the house. He and his mother worked tirelessly to provide for the rest of the family. At the age of 12, he would wake up, deliver the local magazine and newspaper, go to school, and then right after school would get right back to it, working at the local car wash until the sun went down. Hard work is pretty much in his blood, and unfortunately not having a father around really made him grow up fast. But now at Nevada, playing football, trying to create some generational wealth for his family, he's really taken off so far through the first few games of the season, leading our team in sacks, and I think has turned himself into a household name. The question is, can he keep up the play for the rest of the season and earn that scholarship? We are entering conference play in today's episode after going 2-2 in non-conference play. It was a shaky start to this series, but we have recovered very, very nicely, and we will start our Mountain West play on the road at Fresno State. Coach Marlon Yarbrough is a motivator, does have the motivator tree, and we do have some coach skill points that we have earned so far. But let's talk about our coordinators a little bit. Our offensive coordinator is a scheme guru. He does have some, upgrades here, but I'm not actually a big fan of scheme guru. I think that recruiter is better. I think that motivator is better. I'd rather get better in the offseason and through recruiting than have those, kind of translate to rating boosts on the field. Our defensive coordinator actually has some pretty good boosts in the motivator tree, though, getting some boosts to DB, so allowing us to kind of have that increased XP in the offseason along with linebackers. So we do have at least 2 defensive positions we can develop a little bit faster than what we would have without those abilities. So I am deciding to move our coach XP slider down to slower. I tried it at slowest. It was way too slow. Normal is just normal, but I wanted to have a little bit of a challenge, make it a little bit, longer in that development. So I will switch it to slower, and I have tested this, and it works pretty well. One change we are making coming into this episode is really evaluating our offensive line. In the last 2 games, we started Colin Banning, who is a right guard, a freshman right guard, at left guard, and it has really, really helped. He's given up 0 sacks in the last 2 games, and I think that he may have earned a spot going forward in season 1. I also want to make a change at tight end. Riley Langley is a sophomore right now. He is one of our walk-ons, and he just adds some more athleticism than what we see from Jace Henry, so we will actually start him in the coming games and let him get some more playing time and develop his skills a little more. Well, let's talk about recruiting real quick. We have a couple of players that we're going to go after pretty hard here, and I want to try to find some receivers that we can build this program around. Braden Cage is interesting. He's 6'3". He is not going to burn you with speed. He's more of an outside type of receiver, but does have that press pro physical ability, which allows him to beat press a lot easier. So hoping that he can be, a 50-50 ball guy. We'll see what he develops into. He's out of Colorado. We also have our top recruit, Chet Harper. We do have a visit scheduled for him to come to that Boise State game, which we play in a couple of weeks after our episode today. And I really want to make sure that we have some complimentary visits with him. So we're going to look to work towards that to maximize those points we get from his visit. I do want to scout some guys further on our board that I've just had hanging out here. Local kid Terrell Ebron out of Las Vegas, Nevada, defensive tackle. I'm going to at least just put 10 on him just to make sure we get into the top 10. He's not even interested in our school just yet. Dennis Briggs, another guy out of Richmond, Texas. Now we have a 1-star, pipeline rating. And looking at him, he's 6'4", 247, decent size. His playing time is at an A+, which is interesting. So does that tell me that maybe, his overall is going to be coming in higher than what we have on our roster? I'm not sure. But I do want to really shore up this defensive pass rush. Right now, I think we're getting home, but I think that we need a true edge rusher. So I think that I'm going to prioritize that in recruiting, maybe even in the transfer portal. Our defensive backfield is not doing well either. We have 0 interceptions so far through the first 4 games. Hopefully that will turn around. But we will have a very tough game today versus E.J. Warner, son of Kurt Warner, by the way, transferring over to Fresno State and starting for the first time for them this season. He will be missing his best playmaker in Bryson Donaldson, who is out with a torn labrum. He's only out for 1 week, so we do catch a little bit of a break there. But they do have a pretty good backup running back in Elijah Gilliam. He's number 33. He will be getting the ball quite a bit. But we do have to stay away from Jaden Davis, who's got 3 interceptions already this season, and he is a ball hawk in that secondary. So here we go versus Fresno State. Let's get this game underway as Mountain West Conference play begins. As here is Nate Burles in the second, who takes it back to about the 16-yard line. And out comes this offense. Really want to look to establish some rhythm early on. We'll see if we can do that. First play of the game is a handoff, this time to Herschell Turner, and he fights forward through 2 tacklers and picks up a gain of 10. There is number 88 running in motion. That's Riley Langley, and we get it to him on the RPO, and he picks up the first down and a little bit more. The slight difference between Jace Henry and Riley Langley is the speed. Jace Henry has 70 speed in comparison to Riley Langley, who has 77 speed. That's quite a bit of difference. He's still on the field for this snap this time. 2 wide receivers to the right side and Langley, 1 to the left. Here's a throw back to Marcus Bellin, the senior, and he will fall and catch that one sliding down. And it is a first down throw from Chubba Purdy. Back to the run game, and we are stuffed on that play. Corey Foreman on the tackle. He's one of their best defenders on their line. Another RPO action over to Langley again, and this time he is swallowed up only for a gain of 4. So now a big 3rd and 9 now. They send pressure. Purdy buys some time and finds Langley, who's open again. 3 catches on the opening drive. And that actually matches the average catches that we see from Jace Henry on each game. He's got that on the first drive. Here is a screen pass out to Herschell Turner. He picks up about 8. In comes Kai Woods at tailback for a 4th and 2. Handoff now. Woods fights up the middle and does hit the hole hard and picks up about a gain of 11 yards. And we convert right there again. This drive stays alive. Our kicker doesn't have the strongest legs, so we have to watch it as we drop back here on the play action fake. It's a loss of 10 yards. Purdy now with a pretty good opening drive here. In the pocket, he does get under pressure, and Foreman gets to Purdy and will force us to a long field goal. Actually, not that long, 44 yards, and the kick is barely good. That was with the meter all the way full, so it looks like our range is probably around like 47 yards or so. But we take the 3-0 lead. Here's a handoff this time to Gilliam, filling in for their injured starting tailback, and he picks up a nice first down run on that one. 1st and 10 again, a little RPO action. Here's E.J. Warner, this time keeping it. Look at the blocking on this play all the way across the 50. And he picks up a gain of 21 yards. More RPO action. This time it's a bubble screen. Breaking a tackle this time. Can't bring him down with 1 defender. And they do pick up another first down. So both teams move the ball pretty well on the opening drive. Here's another handoff this time to Gilliam. And look at the offensive line just absolutely demolishing our D-line. That was a wide open hole. We start the second quarter now. Here's a throw up the seam, and that one is caught. And now it is a 1st and goal at the 9. Little read option this time. Warner keeps it. It's a touchdown, and Fresno will answer right back after the field goal, and they will punch it in for 6. So going forward in this game, I actually lost audio, so we will go through some quick highlights of the rest of the game. I just don't like, doing commentary without the game audio. It just doesn't feel the same. So here is Riley Langley with another catch, and he has been very, very busy so far in the first half. Here is Marquise Ashley. We added him to that receiving rotation, and he has been really, really nice to have a little, gadget playmaker. Here's a throw to the right side. This time it's Nate Burleson, and he has it for a first down. That was a tight window throw by Purdy, and we get inside the red zone now. This time running Nate Burleson in motion this time. He throws out to him, and Burleson's all alone. He's going to walk in for the touchdown. And Burleson will score and give us the lead here on our second drive as we're halfway through the second quarter. But that was a really good play design here by the Wolfpack. Down by 3 now. Here is E.J. Warner. Looks like he's calling out the mic right here. He throws to the sideline. This one is caught. And one of the things that we have not done well this year is cover the tight end. That has definitely been an issue for us. Our linebackers cannot cover well. Here's a throw to the left side. Another catch and another first down. Tackled from behind that time by number 1, A.J. Odoms, as they eventually get it inside the 10-yard line. Look at E.J. Warner avoiding the sack and finding his receiver in the end zone for the touchdown. And it is now a 14-10 lead. We have about 20 seconds left here in the first half. As here's a throw across the middle. That one's intercepted by the defense. They will take it back to about the 50-yard line, but that does set them up with enough time to possibly run a play or two and get into field goal range. They line up for this one from about 61 yards, and this one is good. You gotta be kidding me, and it's a 17-10 lead going into halftime. More Fresno State offense, and that's Richie Anderson, the tight end. Just a fun fact for you, tight ends have averaged 6 catches per game for opposing teams. And here is Anderson again, wide open this time. Busted coverage on the play, and once again the tight ends kill us. And now Fresno State is up by 2 scores. Here is Purdy trying to get us back in the game. He finds Marshawn Brown that time with the catch, and that is a first down. A minute to go in the third. Here's a throw to left side, and this route is jumped, and it's an interception going the other way. Burleson giving chase along with Turner, and we will not catch him. It's a touchdown, and just like excellent play by Jaden Davis. I said before the game not to throw his way, and what do? Don't even realize that's him, and he jumps that route. Down by 21 now. Here is a shot inside the red zone. That's caught by Marquise Ashley, but just a little too late here for the offense. Now 6.5 minutes to go. First and goal here. Kai Woods checks in at tailback. We do run it in to cut it down to a 2-score lead. But this will just not be enough today. Fresno State was absolutely perfect. Now 31-17, one last heave, and Purdy overthrows his man Burleson, intercepted by the defense. And is that Davis again? Oh my goodness. It's just one of those days on the road in Mountain West play, and E.J. Warner had his way. One last option keeper, makes a man miss, and it's a touchdown. And the Bulldogs go on to roll and win this game 38-24. We do add on a garbage time touchdown, but Fresno State was dominant. Just look at the stats here for Fresno State and E.J. Warner and this offense. 20 of 20. He did not miss a pass. 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. This was honestly one of those games where I could not do anything on defense. Their offensive line was the best I faced this year. E.J. Warner had a clean pocket on every pass. We didn't get any pressure on him at all. And it wasn't the fact that we weren't sending different pressures. Like, we were sending blitzes from the safety, from the corner, from linebackers, everything, stunts. We were doing it all. We couldn't even touch E.J. Warner. And he had himself a day. And we do start out Mountain West Conference play with the loss. We also couldn't run the ball too well. I'm still figuring out wear and tear with running backs. I'm seeing that Herschell Turner gets subbed out way too much, but I also don't want to get him hurt. So maybe that is a good thing. We did have a bunch of tackles for loss, but those were all on run plays. Getting after the passer was definitely tough today. We had 0 sacks, and it showed. And obviously, we still have another game with no turnovers. That is definitely something we're going to have to improve in recruiting. If we cannot create turnovers, we do not have a great defense. So let's get into game number 2 in this episode. And this time we return home, and this is a more meaningful game for us. San Diego State, which is one of the teams that we are actually competing with a lot in recruiting. A lot of our recruits want to also go to San Diego State. We will also turn up injuries a little bit to 60 because I am not seeing any injuries. So we will cover this game in full. So a quick doubleheader episode here as the San Diego State Aztecs are 4-1 coming into this game. So we just lost to the 2-3 San Diego State, or not San Diego State, the Fresno State Bulldogs. And now we play an even tougher opponent who is 4-1 on the year. We start out this game with the handoff. This time, good cut by Turner. Turner up the middle, and he picks up a gain of about 19, and he is shaking up on that play. It looks like that injury slider is already kicking in on the first play of the game. Here's a handoff this time to Kai Woods, and he picks up 8. And Woods is injured. All right, maybe don't bump up the slider to 60. 2 straight plays with injuries. Here's our third string back, Caleb Ramsor, in the game, and he picks up a first down, a gain of 11. So 3 big runs to start out this game. I'm not going to stop that trend here. Maybe I will. Play action fake this time. Purdy throws into traffic looking for Langley, and he cannot hang on to that one. 5 wide on a 3rd and 6. Here's a throw to left side, and that one is knocked out of the hands of Herschell Turner. But we're going to line up to go for it here on a 4th and 6. Here is Purdy throwing across the middle. Good route by Bell, and he created a lot of separation on that route. Tackled at the 15-yard line after a nice catch and run. Bellin has been pretty much non-existent this season so far. We get it to the 15 now. It's a 3rd and 10 again, and there's a nice throw this time to Marshawn Brown. Good pocket created by the offensive line as well. Good protection. Here's a 2nd and goal. Here's an option keeper. That one doesn't work. Purdy gets taken down on that play. And another 3rd down on this opening drive here for Nevada. Here's a throw to the right side. It's caught. It's Riley Langley. Touchdown, Wolfpack. And how about the impact that Riley Langley has had? He had 7 catches last game, and now he scores in his 2nd start this season. We may have found something with Langley. He's just creating some separation that Jace Henry just couldn't create. Here comes Jaden Denegal, the starting quarterback here for San Diego State. He's brought them to a 4-1 record, so he's got to be doing something right. He is a dual threat as well. So we'll see if we can bounce back here on defense after a lackluster performance last week. And there's an RPO over to the left side. And that is a 1st down already on the first play. So here's a throw to the right side. This is Denegal looking for his target and will find him. Edward Rambo, number 4 on the right side of our defense, has been pretty good covering receivers, but I want to see him take that next step, create some turnovers. 3rd and 8 now. Here's a throw to the right side. Throws right back to Rambo. It's incomplete, but good coverage on the play. Rambo is also a redshirt junior, so he will be returning next year, barring that he does not transfer away. But he's been actually very solid. Purdy now back on the field. Here's a 2nd and 9. It's a toss across the middle, and Marquise Ashley fighting forward. He picks up 9 on that play. Turner next to Purdy now. We're going to give it to him, and a big hole up the middle, making a man miss, cutting up to about the 48-yard line on that run. Good drive again to start it out here, getting across the 50. That's going to be Ashley again. He's going to be shaken up on this play. But you can just see the quickness with Ashley. That's what I do enjoy with him. Give him a little drag route. He will definitely create some separation. And there's a nice run. And that's Herschell Turner again with a 1st down run. We come out here with 3 wide receivers and Jace Henry at tight end. Here is a little orbit screen over to Herschell Turner, and he can't get to the outside, but does only get a gain of 2. 3rd and 8 now, play action, fake now. Purdy under pressure and really had nobody to throw it to on that one. and the pressure was right in his face. But we're going to allow him to go for it here on a 4th and 8. This would be a 49-yarder, but our kicker can't make it from here. Here's a throw across the middle, and Marshawn Brown has it, and he holds on. A throw off of the back foot of Purdy, and it ends up working out with pressure right in his face. That puts him over 1,000 yards on the season, by the way. Here is Purdy now throwing to left side with a fresh set of downs. That's going to be caught. Nate Burleson the second again. 9 completions here for Purdy, and remember, playing style is a big deal breaker for receivers, so I want to make sure I do get those receptions up. Now it's a 3rd and 13 inside the red zone. Purdy in the pocket, throws short, and that one is caught by Henry, and we will settle for 3 and make it a 10-0 lead. Now to start the second quarter this time, here's a handoff. San Diego State starts it out running the football as they have been a heavy pass team so far this year. Thomas Witt is shaken up. As you can see, there's a lot of injuries in this game since turning up that slider. That now brings it to a 3rd and 1. This time is going to be pressure up the middle. It's a sack. It's Dylan LaBarbera who gets to the quarterback. And Denegal goes down. I wonder why he's not using his legs. He is a mobile quarterback, but he takes the sack right there. Starting out the next drive, it's Chase Henry with the catch up the seam as Langley is actually out with an injury right now. We'll see if he checks back in at some point. Bunch to the left side. It's a screen pass over to Herschell Turner, who cuts upfield. He picks up a gain of 12 yards. Turner is just lightning quick when he gets the ball. Purdy across the 50, and once again, here's a throw to the flats. This time, Turner spins and catches the football, avoids a tackler, and gets another first down. Remember, he has that 360 and shifty physical ability, so 360 helps with his spin moves. The shifty helps him with losing speed from side to side. So now Purdy, handoff inside the red zone. Caleb Ramsor back into the game. Getting every back involved. Back to him now. Ramsor has the first down, finds the little crease right there, and he will take it up the middle for a first down. And now Caleb Ramsor is shaken up. In comes Kai Woods now, spelling Ramsor, and it's a touchdown. It is a team effort in this backfield. All 3 backs touched the ball on this drive. Passing game, running game, you name it. We do miss the extra point, so it's 16-0. Here's San Diego State now running a little bit of option here, and finally they get that mobile quarterback out of the pocket. And after all that, they only get 1 yard. So here we go once again. It's a 2nd and 9. Play action fake this time. And once again, Denegal's under pressure. It's picked up. It's a touchdown. Jonathan Maldonado will score. But how about the pressure once again by this defensive line? That time it's 96 Tanner Vaughn who gets to the quarterback, and then Maldonado picks it up and walks in. It's 23-0 still in the first half with 5 minutes to go. Our defense is playing lights out. Denegal can't do anything today. It's a 3rd and 8, middle screen, and another great tackle that time by Kitchens. And Kason Kitchen, I keep saying Kitchens, but Kitchen, the senior, makes the stop. Purdy now throwing out of the backfield to Caleb Ramsor, and that will be a first down. All 3 backs have really contributed in every phase of this game. Back in the game is Herschell Turner, finding a little bit of space, only picks up a gain of 1. He remains in the game now for a 3rd and 7. Here is Purdy throwing short. He's got Marcus Bellin, who does get stopped. It's going to bring it to a 4th and 1 as we approach the 2-minute warning here. We do hand off right back to Turner. He's got the first down easily, and he's shaken up once again, but looks like he's celebrating. He should be okay. In comes the 4th-string running back at this point, Ashton Hayes, a local kid. Purdy rolls to the right side. He's wide open, and he can't stay in bounds. He could have walked into the end zone, but he steps out at the 7. Purdy now looks like Turner checks back in, and he misses him. Turner had a walk-in touchdown. Now it's 3rd and goal. Looks like Purdy will throw this one out to the flats and finally converts. It's Herschell Turner for the touchdown. And how about that? 29-0 in the first half. An extra point makes it 30. And it has just been domination by Nevada today. This is also versus a 4-1 football team. Here is pressure. More on Denegal, and he goes down, and he is shaken up on the play as Jonathan Maldonado gets home. And remember, we had a couple of games where we were worried about Maldonado. He's our best pure pass rusher, and he finally is starting to warm up here this season. The backup quarterback comes in this time with a beautiful throw that time, beating one of our linebackers, Najee Logan, in coverage that time. It's a first down now, 12 seconds to go, and the ball's on the ground, picked up by the offense, but more pressure. This time it's Nelson Ropati who gets to the quarterback, and he is one of those senior defensive linemen who's also going to be leaving next year, and the clock runs out as San Diego State has 0 timeouts, and that's how we will go into halftime in this one. A commanding lead, up 30-0. So we start out the second half with the rock here. Here's a throw on the run to Marcus Bellin, avoiding the pressure right there. Purdy just buying some time. So now at the 50, here is Ashton Hayes in the game. Here's a deep shot looking for Bellin. Knocked down. We still cannot convert one of those. We do not have a deep threat on this roster that we can go to consistently. Here's a handoff, though. This time it's Ashton Hayes getting some carries. All 4 running backs getting into the fold today. I guess if there's one bright spot of that injury slider going up, it's that we are getting some good rotation out of the backs. Obviously, we don't want them to be injured, but it's nice to see Ashton Hayes on the field here. Purdy now for a 2nd and 3. Looks like he's directing traffic back to the running game, and it's Hayes again, a gain of 4. The ground game is really working for us today, and this isn't really our calling card every single week. But here is Hayes. He gets another catch for a first down. But honestly, our offensive line is probably really composed at this point. They're having an excellent game today, as that's an errant throw by Purdy. We do settle for 3 on that drive. But not every game will look like this. We are dominating the trenches on both sides of the football. And as you can see, more pressure, and it forces a bad throw. It's DJ Warnell, the first INT of the season, and we will take it back to the 28. It's taken all the way into a 30-0 game here to get our first interception of the year. Incredible. But DJ Warnell comes up with the interception, and once again, this team is set up with great field position. We will bring in number 11, the walk-on quarterback. He's our 4th stringer at this time in this series, Bo Brewster. He's an interesting player. He can run a little bit. He does have kind of a mobile archetype right now. He is a pure runner, so we will see what he can do with option keepers, and then he fumbles that one. So I don't know if that's really going to be his long-term position based on how we bring in quarterbacks, but I wanted to see what he can do in some game action. And now we're into garbage time here. San Diego State pretty much, has been blanked today. We start to sub in some, younger players on defense here in the 4th quarter. And now San Diego State starting to drive a little bit, as now they bring it to a 3rd and 6. This is inside the 10-yard line, threatening to score. Here is more pressure, and we will get to the quarterback. And look who it is. It's Amir Broussard. I believe that's 5.5 sacks on the year for Broussard. He's having a tremendous start to his career, and he looks like he's going to be on his way to earning a scholarship going forward. But I had to show this play. Amir Broussard is just simply tearing it up this year. 4th and 11, one last play this game. Here's a throw across the middle, and San Diego State will score. But it will not be enough, as Nevada will get our first win in Mountain West Conference play. The final score ends up being 33-14. A real dominant performance today on both sides of the football. Running the football was seemingly easy in this one. Purdy actually had an efficient day. Missed a couple of throws, but was enough to get the job done. 23 of 33, 2 touchdowns, 0 INTs. And I'm happy to see him get some confidence. Herschell Turner, 13 for 79, but everybody got some carries today. Ashton Hayes, fourth stringer, had 12 today, 54 yards. And all running backs at least finished with one catch as well. So that is definitely a good sign that all of our backs can kind of be interchangeable a little bit. And as we get into recruiting, we're going to start to recruit, similar archetypes so that we can have the luxury of doing that. If we need to sub out a certain back, whether that's a third down back, a power back, I want to have a good backup tailback for each type of player we want. So I think that, this is just a good start here in Mountain West Conference play. Obviously, we lost to Fresno. That was a tough game, but this is a big bounce back win at home, and a big one nonetheless, 33-14. So I think next episode we will have probably another doubleheader, and I think what we're going to do is have the New Mexico game, which is first. We will have that as a shorter clipped game, and then we will cover the Boise State game in full, because Boise State is our rival, one of our two. UNLV is the other, and they will be the last game of the season. But I like what I saw this episode, especially running the football. I like what I saw from the tailbacks. Unfortunately, we do have an injury coming out of this game, and it is Riley Langley. So we just put him into the starting lineup, and then immediately he gets injured in his second game starting. Cartilage tear out, only 2 weeks though. So at least he's going to be back in a few weeks. We do hit a bye week in a few weeks as well. So that should be enough for Riley Langley to recover. And I think that, what I saw from him, he's definitely, I think, the starter going forward, at least this season. And safe to say, we're going to bump the injury slider back down. I'm going to put it at 51 to see what that value does for us in this series. So that's going to do it here in this episode. Our pass rush continues to play well. We finally get our first INT of the series with DJ Warnell. But I really, really like what our defensive line is doing, our pass rush. Hopefully Maldonado can get some more sacks. He's our best pass rusher, and he should be back for next year, barring that he does not transfer away. So that's going to do it. We are 3-3 as we do go 1-1 to start Mountain West play. We'll see if we can continue that next week versus New Mexico, and then we'll have a big rivalry game versus Boise State. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. I'm having fun with it. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.